So, gentlemen, let's start with Unit 1. This unit starts with some basic sentence writing and then proceeds to definitions and finally description of any object. So, we will be discussing some basic types of sentences, followed by how to formally define something and then describe an object in terms of shape and dimensions. In this chapter, we will be dealing with three major types of sentences. Firstly, to be plus adjective. Secondly, have plus noun. Thirdly, noun plus to be. Let's take the first type. Look at the adjectives here. Flat, big and fast. There are two types of sentences here. The first sentence reads, the table is flat. There is another option to end the sentence with table that is described here. You need to be careful here because when you add a singular noun after the adjective, you need to add an article before the adjective. So the second type reads, it is a fast car. The second type of sentence is have plus noun. Here the noun form of the adjective has been used. For example, width, height and so. The third type is noun plus to be verb. Here again the noun form of the adjective has to be used like length, height and so. Now which one is the best? You can use whatever suits you the best. Try to use all the three types as you can make a variety of sentences in your paragraph. Next, let's go the next type. How do we express dimensions in terms of weight, distance, or length? We need to use prepositions like about or adverbs like nearly. Study the sentences carefully. Then comes comparisons and contrasting. Here you need to know the comparative adjectives like cheaper, more expensive, smarter and so. Comparison can also be done with negations also. Negation is just adding nots in comparisons. Read the examples given here. With comparative statements, we add words like much, considerably to give more stress to what we are saying. Look at the sentences here. Bigger and considerably bigger are not the same. The latter sentence with considerably bigger means that the volume is higher than expected. Next comes sentences with contrasts. We use while or whereas to bring out differences between two given objects or things. Here be careful with the usages. When you use while or whereas in the beginning, there is a comma between the two. But when you use while or whereas in the middle, there is no comma. The last type is using modal along with verbs. When you use the active voice, use a modal plus the base verb, like will run. When you use in the passive, then add be or a verb according to the tense form used. Now, let's pass on to formal definitions. In formal definitions, we need to add two basic information. Firstly, the class that it belongs to. Secondly, the use or the characteristics of the given object or matter or process. So, a car is a vehicle that is used to transport people from one place to another. Now, find similar words and find their class and their uses or characteristics. For example, a bottle is a container that is used to store any substance or object. So, we are on the last item in this unit. How do we describe the shapes of objects? Look at the shapes here. Square, triangular, rectangular, round, oval, and diamond. You can use all these shapes while describing an object. Now let's take an example. A mobile phone. The length, width, and thickness of this phone can be described with the given measurements. So, we can use any type of sentences we have discussed in this unit. So, that's all, gentlemen. Now it's your turn. Study the models given here and get ready for the quiz. All the best.